We're here to watch a bunch of performances like playing piano and dancers, which should be coming up next. But I'm only here for one important reason, and that reason is me. I'm not here to talk to you about what you're learning in school because I already know what you're learning in school. I'm not here to talk to you about what you got for Christmas because I really don't care at the moment. I'm here to tell you everything. I'm not holding anything back. Have you ever just wanted to get out and run and not think about anything? Have you ever just wanted to tell someone you hate them? Have you ever not wanted to eat all day? Have you ever fell down a hole and not been able to get back up? Why am I asking these questions? Well, isn't it obvious? How many of you guys know me? It doesn't matter. Because no matter how many times you hang out with me, you're never going to get the full story. Like, why am I so happy? Or why am I wearing crazy stuff? Well, first, I love socks.
I love your socks, Tamara.
And second, behind my smile is a frown waiting to come out when I'm alone. It's not my fault. Everyone has those bad days, and you all know what I'm talking about. Well, my bad day is every day. I wake up feeling sad, but I never let anyone know. What is this called? Well, it could be called many things, like gloom, hopelessness, sadness, unhappiness, or the big one, depression. My name is Tamara, and I suffer from depression. Like I said, it's not my fault. It's an illness just like the common cold. It comes when you least expect it to. Many people know what depression is. Depression is an illness which is common, but often misunderstood. It can happen to people without them even knowing they have it. Many think depression is something that brings on fear and shame and prevents them from asking for help. It's not a personal weakness. It's an illness that can be treated. Like I said, many people know what depression is, but there are many more who don't know how many it affects. Just looking at me right now, how many of you would think I'm depressed? Did you know, in 2003, 1 in every 10 Canadians aged 15 or older had depression? Now think about this. That was 9 years ago. The number has almost doubled, making about 4.2 million people in Canada. Now, that's just in Canada. What if we were to think about all the people in the world? Well, honestly, I can't. Because it just makes me so upset. Why? Because nobody knows how to solve the problem. And I was one of those people. I was living my life happy and carefree, the way I wanted to. But everything turned around last year, when something made me feel like a nobody. I was always lying. People would ask how I was doing, and I would say fine, just because if I said anything else, they wouldn't leave me alone. I'm 16 and I've been through a lot. Between my parents splitting up, having a learning disability, and now depression, my life isn't exactly what you would call perfect. But I continuously make it look like I have a perfect life, all because I don't want people to worry. It was at this time I couldn't keep my smile going. I would walk around my school upset, and no one would talk to me, and I didn't know why. This made me feel worse. The only person that would talk to me was my guidance counselor, and she said to tell her when I felt like doing something drastic. Well, within a week I was thinking about things to hurt myself, but I never did anything. It was at this time I couldn't stop crying. I didn't know what to do. I was scared, so I finally said it. I told her about these feelings and everything went downhill. I was taken to the hospital, almost put on antidepressants. I was also forced to see the counselor at the hospital, but that didn't help because I couldn't talk to him. I've never felt so bad about myself in my life. I kept telling myself, how could this happen? Out of all the people in the world, how could this happen to me? After my trip to the hospital, I shut down. I did nothing, and nothing was all I did. My house was the last place I wanted to be. Why? Because the one thing that made me feel like a nobody was living at my house. I felt threatened at times. The constant yelling, the door slamming, I was forced in my room because I had nowhere else to go. All the things I loved were taken from me. I was pushed down so far that I thought I could never get back up. Pushed farther and farther until I had enough. I had to tell someone. So I did. Called my best friend, who just so happened to be my uncle. At first, I couldn't tell him anything because it's always been a fear of mine to let people know about my life. Because I don't want them to worry. But over time, he broke me down. And I told him everything. Everything I just told you happened. It may seem unrealistic, but in this world you can never expect anything to go the way you want it to. But you can do something. In this case, maybe talking to someone could have saved my life. Depression hurts. And do you think it's gone? I know it'll take some time for everything to be put back together. I will never be the same. And neither will anyone else who's experienced depression. But what do? We keep a big smile on our face just to show how strong we are. And you are too. In this life, you have to be strong to overcome the little hills. And with every little hill you overcome, you're preparing for the mountain that's coming. But with the help of others, you can overcome these huge obstacles and live your life to the fullest. Throughout this experience, I thought I was alone. But I'm never alone if I just look around. You and I have 1,000,001 reasons to be here, so I'm not going anywhere.